And welcome, guys, to episode number 40 of Mac Yak. So say hello, everybody.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, Mike.
Right now, Steve is resetting his router, so he has a frozen screen right there. So he will be back as soon as his internet connection comes back. He was having.
He still made it at the beginning, though.
Yes, he still made it while we were waiting. Oh, there he is.
Welcome back, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Steve is here. Okay.
In Technicolor.
You look better.
Grudy is not here
my
tonight.
microphone. Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
What?
I said,
Volts times amps.
yeah.
Okay, here we go.
All right, so Grudy's not going to be here tonight, so I have a pretty good show tonight for you guys. We're going to do some discussion on what happened Tuesday, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. Got a few other topics, so hopefully a decent show for you guys tonight. Anything new with you guys going on this week?
Work. It's that time of year, man. It's the end of the year is coming up. The holidays are coming up. Everybody's going crazy. Everybody wants everything fixed right away, and you know how it is. So.
Yeah.
But
Now,
on the flip side, after New Year, it's going to be like the quiet time of year. So lots of time for whatever personal projects we got.
Ah, okay.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
I got
Now,
the
see,
same
me-
problem.
Oh,
So.
go for it. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, when is part 2 of your video coming out there, Mike? I've been waiting for that.
I'm not exactly sure yet. It should be soon. I have everything I need. It's just I've been so busy at work that truthfully I haven't had the energy to do anything. And this weekend's going to be shot because I have to watch my nieces all weekend, and they're 8 and 2. So needless to say, I'm going to be worn out.
Oh, I feel for you, bud.
So there we go. My weekend is shot, and then on top of all that, I found out my transfer case in my pickup truck's going bad, so I got to deal with that too.
Make a video of that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Probably going to hear my
Yeah.
dogs.
How many bolts? How many bolts can we break on a truck with 322,000 miles?
Let's find out.
Probably all of them.
Let's find out.
You know, it happens. But yeah, now I'll jump in there. Between working, which by the way, we are about ready at the nonprofit foster care company that I work for, TFI, if you want to Google it. Right now we are about ready to spin up October 1. We're going to spin up about 300 additional users at multiple locations. We're that good at what we do. So, hey, you know what? When the CEO drives a normal car instead of like a fancy Mercedes or something, you know they're doing something right. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing a lot of. I can tell you right now, I hate Surface Pros. So their packaging, the computer itself is fine. The packaging is complete garbage. But that's what the bulk of my time is on. And by the way, I was banned from Twitch for 7 days. I got suspended for
Why?
showing art.
What?
Showing art. Yeah, Twitch suspended me. So, you know. So nobody's going to see live streaming on.
Were you like showing
I'm-
like nudity or something?
I was showing art.
But was it?
And I was talking about art. And then I mentioned
good, yeah.
Amaranth.
Oh, that's probably what got you
No.
banned because she's banned. So.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah,
Jay
so,
said he's going to be right back, so I don't know where Jay went. Oh, there he is. He's back.
No, he's back.
Okay.
Bye,
Just
Grudy. We
more
finally
planning.
see
My
him.
dinner
Look.
is still cooking, so.
Yeah, I'm over at the future in-laws' house.
All right. Well, let me.
So hi guys.
It's good to see you, bud.
I'm going to be part of a segment coming up, but I'm spending time with the family, and we leave early in the morning. So just text me, guys, right before that segment, and I'll see you then.
Has no one told him he was fired like 2 months ago from that?
You're funny. You are hilarious.
You didn't get the memo.
We'll spam mail it to
You
you.
didn't get the memo? Dang, dude.
Anyway, I took everything off private, so if you text me, I'll be able to connect right up.
We'll think about it.
All right.
All right.
I'll see you guys.
All right, see you, bud.
So, anyways, so wait a second. Get back to this getting banned from Twitch, though, Rocky, because this is kind of interesting. So, what were you?
It's interesting I get banned for Twitch.
Yeah, I want to know because if Amaranth,
I was showing art.
Well, what kind of art? That's
And
the
I
question.
You were playing
we don't want to
certain,
know.
You were playing a certain
I'm
Amaranth
not
clip,
making
weren't
any
you?
comment here because if I show anything in my background right now, I can't show my desktop because it will get us banned from YouTube. So, you know,
lovely.
it's a Mike class desktop. I mean, Mike inspired me to look for proper art, and I found proper art. And never
You know
mind.
what's sad?
In other words, it's not safe for work.
You know what's sad about that though is that there's a lot of women on Twitch that stream and do stuff like that and get people to throw money at them, and they show probably more than what you probably showed.
Oh, if we could only put the link out there, the Amaranth,
Nope.
because it's still on Reddit.
I
checked the other day.
She is banned from Twitch. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Still?
Yes.
Ever?
Awesome.
She showed a little bit too much.
No, it was a whole sneak peek for about 5
It
seconds.
was too much.
I
so-
watched that Reddit video just to
I
see.
did too, but
This is such an interesting topic. Let's talk more about it.
There you
well, Rocky got on the
Whole
subject of that, so that's how we get. See, guys, this is how we.
By the way, it's not called Twitch anymore. It's now called ThoughtSpot.
Oh, Thought Spot. There we go.
It's a rebrand.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got some news though. I just got it. As a matter of fact, today. I will be moving across the country in November.
What?
Yes.
Which direction?
To the East Coast, around the DC area.
Okay.
Around-
All the cool people are on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Sorry,
All right.
anyone watching that is on the West Coast, but it's just the way it is.
So
I'm in the Midwest.
I talked to Jay already about it, and he is going to pick up the slack for Mac Yak's broadcasting while I'm in the transition and moving, because it's going to be probably 2 to 3 weeks of, interruptions for me. Now,
Thank
That
you,
sounds
Jay.
like fun.
yeah. Now I will
Right.
I will try to be on at least.
Just strap your camera to the moving truck.
There you go.
Live stream
I-
from the
I
road.
will.
That would be freaking awesome.
So Steve and I want to know where you're moving to.
It'll be in the DC. We're moving around to the DC area.
Is this
Oh,
because
wow,
of
you're gonna
you
be-
or
You're going to be
your
within
wife?
stone's throw of both of us.
Yep. No, that's the only thing. Plus, my allergies are going to take a big beating too, because I lived in Georgia for a while, and that's pretty bad there too. So,
Are you
Not,
allergic
not
to,
nearly as bad up here as it is down there, but it's still pretty bad.
pollen.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Hey, are you driving through Kansas? Because we'll have to do a little thing if you drive through.
No, we won't.
Dude,
Road trip.
yeah, no, you
Road
gotta hit
four.
everybody on the way there.
There you go.
Kansas is a little bit farther out of the way than we are going to go, because we're going to be going.
You can meet halfway.
Well, we're going through Dallas because we're going to stop by my wife's dad's house. He lives in Dallas, and then we're going to stop in Tennessee,
And-
Nashville to see my
and
brother.
Stopping by Computer Reset.
I could.
oh, you're really taking the long way around.
No, actually, that's the way that Apple Maps actually decided we should go, and I was
Oh,
like,
wait.
Yeah, mistake
Never
number
mind.
one, Apple Maps.
there we go.
I forgot. You live in southern Arizona. I forgot.
Yes.
I'm
He does.
sorry.
Southern Arizona.
Though,
I
he's
was
going
thinking
to
you lived
Dallas.
further north.
No.
Okay.
Even if I lived further north, I mean, I would go probably 20 straight across anyways so.
Now, if you're going through Dallas, all you got to do is just go straight up, and you could hit Kansas. You could say hi. It might add a couple hours to your journey, but come on.
What's a couple hours between friends?
Exactly.
So James
You
goes,
know?
fair warning, I'm going to hate looking for Macs on Facebook. Yeah, I don't think so, because that's as much as I've seen Steve find.
Oh, there's tons of stuff around here.
Now, don't
Yeah, I
live in
just gotta look
DC.
for it.
Live in Virginia. Just saying.
Yeah.
By the way, Apple Maps is giving me two options. One goes through Tennessee, one comes through Ohio. You better freaking drive through Ohio.
Hey, if he
Well-
comes through Kansas, he can just jot up to Ohio and it's clean.
Well, we're
you know,
actually
it's
planning
good.
on going through Tennessee because my brother lives in Tennessee and my son is stationed right there at Fort
What's more important,
Campbell.
Mac Yackers or family? Come on.
I'm
family.
pretty sure we take a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anything else new going on before we get to?
Nope.
My internet is crap right now, so hopefully you can hear and see me.
Yes, we can. Your voice
Yeah.
sounds a little different than normal, but we can still hear you.
Well, so I'm working on a bunch of stuff that got delayed, but I'm still working on it. So you'll see some stuff from me hopefully soon. That's all I'm gonna say.
Cool. All right, guys.
Looking
So
for-
we're going to go through our first topic, and I don't think this is going to take very long because, to be honest with you, I think that the keynote was very boring.
I'm going to reenact what I did with the keynote.
No,
I don't even
no,
have
you
to
should go out.
watch it.
If you reenact, you have to go outside and take pictures of you laying out, just sitting outside, looking at the grass.
I can't. It's dark now. Mosquitoes are going to devour me. But yeah, I was sitting outside, not watching it on my phone, and I bailed before it was over. So, yeah.
Yeah, and there was no one more thing either, so it's like, you know. So, I guess we're going to go around the horn here, and basically each one of us talk about what we liked and what we wanted. So we'll start with Steve first, since this was his idea.
Oh yes, as I pulled the document up. Thank you.
Well, you should know what you liked and what you wanted.
All right, so I liked Quick Take. That's the functionality that they have on the newer phones. Hopefully, it's iOS 13, but probably only on the newer phones. Where if you're taking a live photo, from what I understand, you can just keep tapping the photo button and it stitches together a little video. Because if you're taking a live photo, what that does is it takes a little video clip. So sometimes I find myself taking multiple photos, and I actually have quite a bit of video in there. However, what happens is you have to stitch that together manually. So this is cool, sort of doing that work for you. So I thought that was a cool idea. So I'm all for that. Of course, my iPhone 8 probably won't support it.
You just like the name.
Well, I'm getting to that. Come on. Steal my thunder. But
Because they
I
reused
probably
the
won't have it on
name.
my iPhone. But I love the name because it reuses the name of their original line of cameras. Their repackaged Fuji cameras, the Quick Take 100, 150, and 200. So I would show you one if I was downstairs, but I'm not. So, and then what I wanted them to show, I was hoping for an Apple TV refresh. I mean, honestly, I don't know what they would do with the new Apple TV, but I'm in the market for a new Apple TV, so that's what I was looking at. That's probably the only thing I could afford at this point. So that's what I was thinking of. That's me.
All right. How about Jay? Now, I know you didn't have anything, so what do you...
I didn't like anything. It was a complete and utter waste of my time, and I wish I could get those hours back, but I never will, and I'm very sad about it. I liked absolutely nothing. What I wanted the most was a new phone with under the glass Touch ID. I want Face ID to die a horrible death. I want it gone forever. I want Touch ID back in whatever shape or form. But that didn't happen. All they managed to do was stick another camera on the back. Yay! And of course, I was looking forward to a little bit more information, as you typically see about iOS and macOS.
And there was zero. Yeah.
Zero. Absolutely nothing. And I got that from hearsay because I tuned out like 45 minutes before the keynote was done. So yeah, it added no value to my life at all.
I would like to also see that under the glass Touch ID. That would be pretty slick. That's probably the only phone I would buy because I don't want to do Face ID.
Well, I think one of the problems with the under the screen Touch ID, because there's been another company that's done it and it's really crappy. I think Apple might be trying to do it, but they want it to be good because they don't want it to be like their first attempt at Touch ID where it worked half the time and it was real slow, on picking it up and everything?
I think it's BS. There's no reason they can't do under the glass Touch ID. They did it on the iPhone 7, which you see in front of you.
That's
That
No,
is
we
not
mean
a
like
button.
built into the display.
no. We're talking about under the display.
Yeah, no button.
Yeah. Give me a button. Screw the display.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I've seen other phones where they actually have it on the back, which isn't it would
Yeah.
take getting to, but at least have it somewhere. I mean, come on.
No, I don't
Yeah.
like it anything on the
Oh.
back because then you have to worry about, especially cases and stuff have to be worked around that. And
But you got to buy a new case whenever you get a phone.
Well,
anyway,
no, I
my
understand
case is $7 from mono
Well,
prices.
even if they
So
can't
no.
pull off under the glass, just give me a button. Then we'll have a notch at the top and the bottom. I don't care. I just want Touch ID back.
I agree. 100%.
Actually,
Yeah.
what I really want is a reintroduction of the iPhone SE with updated internals. But that's not going to happen.
yeah,
I think that'll happen.
iPhone
early
7
next year.
internals.
yep. Mike, what about you? Or did you even watch the keynote?
I watched very little of it because, to be honest with you, it didn't pique my interest at all. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. But I went through and I brought up some stuff later, and it's like I am not very impressed at all. The new iPhones are it's the same old crap. They're just tacking more and more cameras on the damn thing. When you actually go and look for the advertising, go to this website and look for iPhones, like 65 pages is nothing but cameras. It's like, I have a professional camera. I don't need a damn camera on my phone. Just give me a damn phone. So, and the
Mike
phone's
wants the
not any
reintroduction
cheaper.
of the Apple
Okay,
flip phone.
but Mike, you got to remember, millennials. That's what they
I
want.
know. So, but they're not catering to people who like Jay said. Jay nailed it right on the head. They need an SE model.
Yeah.
They need something. They need something like this for people like me who don't want all this fancy crap on a phone that just kills your battery. I don't sit here and I don't walk around with a charger in my pocket every 5 minutes. You're annoying. So I mean, I don't care about. So what if it gets 20 hours of video? What do you freaking do? It's like, how long does it talk on the phone? 5 minutes?
Well, who all
You
watch
know?
who all in here watches movies on their phone? To be honest with you.
Not porn. Put your hand down, bro.
Not art.
I
Art.
actually used to watch videos on the iPod video when I would take plane rides and stuff, and I've watched some things on my
I
phone.
watch
but
videos
I'd have to
on
be,
this.
Well,
but I'd have to. This would have to be my only device.
I have an iPad
you
for
know,
that to watch movies and stuff.
I
Exactly.
don't have an iPad.
That's what I have.
don't
That's
have
exactly
a
what
laptop.
they
I
mean.
have my Plus phone. That's what I watch
Well-
in bed when I'm laying there, or at work, or anywhere I'm not sitting in front of my computer.
But I don't
Can
I
I,
don't do a lot of
throw
video
something else
watching.
out there?
I-
So
I'll be honest. I do watch an occasional YouTube video on my phone,
Thank
and
you.
it's usually when I'm at work and I'm working on something and I need a quick video. Truthfully, other than that, that's the only time I ever watch video on my
well,
phone.
that's a little different. If you watch a quick video like that, like a 5 or 10 minute video, whatever it
I'm
is.
not watching a movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay, you're
I'm
talking like a 3-hour movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Why would
I do
wanna
that on the
watch
computer.
an hour movie on a 6.5-inch screen when I have a 17-inch MacBook or a 9.5-inch iPad
Mhm. Exactly.
Now, when I watch a
you guys
movie,
are.
or a 24-inch cinema display.
Well, I got a
I use
27
my
inch
iPhone.
monitor, so hey.
to stream it to a Chromecast and play it on the 50-inch TV downstairs. So I do
Oh.
use my phone. However, it's not the display.
Can I add something? Because I don't
No.
think any of us have much positive things to say about the keynote. When it's your turn, add what you hated the most, and I'll backtrack because I went before Mike. And the first person that says it in front of me is probably going to get jabbed in the face. The slow feed.
Oh
I
God.
cannot tell you how much I hate the slow fee. I haven't even seen it yet, and I hate it because
Lofi?
people are going to be saying it
Because
all the
you
time.
didn't see the keynote then, I'm assuming,
Oh.
Meraki. Rocky, because this new feature.
Not all of it. I saw chunks and features.
What they did is on the front-facing camera, you can now take slow motion video on the front-facing camera. So now they coined a new term, and it's called slow-fi.
Yeah, and the term is not going to be coined if we stop saying it. So please stop saying it.
Yes. So from now
It's already
on,
coined.
Mac Yak.
I'm in Mike's camp.
Yeah, Mac Yak basically eliminates that word. We no longer say it.
Yep.
It's banned.
Although I need to
Fast
add
feet.
that the advertisement or the little clip they showed for that was reasonably funny. That was the only time I chuckled in the whole thing.
Well,
I'm gonna pause my video and serve some dinner, so I'll be right back.
Alrighty. So I'll go next here because I'm the only other one that actually watched it. But
I watched the darn thing.
I didn't like a lot of it. I mean, Apple TV Plus, the price point is probably decent, but what did they show? Like 4 or 5 shows that they have on there? They don't have a lot of content. So what is going to entice me to buy that for $5 a month and then keep it? You know?
You got.
I did like the preview of that show.
Well,
the sea.
yeah.
I like that.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. Is it's got a big hole, plot hole in it already that we picked out already. Is how do blind people see that their kid or know that their kids can see?
Maybe they're only partially blind. We haven't seen it yet. We cannot judge them. That's how they get you to watch. That's how they get you to watch.
The director told them.
So big.
I think the problem is though that like any streaming service, like you think of Netflix when it first started out, they didn't have a lot of stuff on there, and what they had was a pretty poor selection. But I think yes, it's worse with Apple because they're only.
But Netflix didn't start as
They
streaming.
didn't start as a streaming service. They started as a DVD mail.
Yeah, they mailed it out to you.
Well, I am well aware of that. In fact, I'm
Red
well aware
box
of
In
that.
fact, he still has a few DVDs that he never
I
returned.
actually started with Netflix back when they were DVD only, before they even started streaming. Then you had like you could watch.
I didn't do that.
What was it like?
I thought I had
a
something,
month
but
or
I
something
didn't.
you could stream before, and then they went to unlimited. You know, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but what I was saying, what I was trying to get at is their DVD selection was completely different from their streaming selection. So what I'm saying is the rights they had for their streaming content was garbage when they first started. It was like crap. You know, now they have their own original series and blah, 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 blah. But I think Apple is going to be in a similar boat where I guess they're just starting with their own content. I honestly haven't looked into it too much. But yeah, for that much money for like just a few of those series, I guess that's, unless you're like really into them, I guess that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to dive into a market that is proliferated by Amazon and Netflix and other. Disney is even in there.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to make it. They're going to be.
They're not going to beat Netflix because Netflix is willing to do controversy, to do stuff that nobody else would do. And Apple already axed, I think, 7 shows that are
Controversial.
like 1 tiny % controversial. Yep. Apple wants to stay away from that because they're so politically correct. So they're never going to beat Netflix.
No.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if this ends up like their Ping social network, which like died a fast death.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Obviously, they're putting a lot of money towards this, so you know Apple has tons of cash to burn. So I could see them keeping this on life support as their passion project, but they need to really have a lot of content in order for people to subscribe to this. Because, yeah, maybe there's one show you subscribe for a year. Maybe the show lasts a year, and then maybe what's going to keep you subscribing if there's nothing interesting in there? I kind of like the idea of. I'm just gonna say I like the free trial they're doing. That'll entice people, but they have to have a huge like truckload of content that they're gonna put on this thing.
As
Otherwise,
much as they have right now,
they
you
don't
could probably
have it.
binge watch it in a week and be done with it.
Yeah. Then what are you gonna watch?
Exactly.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not going to be.
That's what I'm
their
curious
Apple
about
Music.
as well.
It's not
What
going to be
their
the
release schedule is
iTunes.
gonna
It's not
be.
going to be their podcast. That's all I'm going to say. It's not going to hold up to the candle of the iTunes Music or the iTunes Radio or their podcasts. Period. They're not. It's going to die a horrible death, and I look forward to seeing.
I don't know, but hey, I'm
That's what they said about the retail store.
yeah, exactly. So, and a lot of other things that Apple's come out with. They said that Apple's dying, Apple's dying, Apple's dying. Well, Apple's making more and more money every time. So, people have been wrong.
I think this one's a horrible death on its way.
So, getting in that
Just
same
saying,
on that
we'll see.
yeah, on that same note, they came out with another $5 subscription service called what was it? Arcade, Apple Arcade, where basically there's going to be games in there with no ads, no in-app game purchases or anything like that. So it's basically you get the full game or whatever it is, and you get to play as much as you want, or how many games you want, as long as you pay $5 a month. And there's going to be a 30-day free trial for that, I think, is what they mentioned on it. So, but they only showed a couple of games, and none of the games that they showed really interested me.
Oh, they only focused on a couple of games. Apparently, and from what I saw on their website and what I saw on some websites who looked at some of the screenshots and the videos they were showing in the background, there's like almost 100 or something at this point.
But if those were their
the
best
game
three,
I don't think that was their best. That was probably whoever won the
Oh
lottery.
yeah, let me pay money to watch a frog jump across the road.
I liked that game. So
well,
screw
I
you.
like the classic. I like the classic Frogger. I don't like these reimagined ones, because
The thing is, this is the only really thing I'm interested in, because the whole arcade thing seems to be very developer focused, and I was reading a lot of articles about with the Dreamcast anniversary about people who developed for the Dreamcast were actually talking about Apple Arcade and like, hey, this is kind of like how we developed for those older systems, and how we had a lot of freedom to do this and that. We didn't have to worry about this and that. So
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool. And this is the way I think about it. $5 for a year is $60. You can go out and buy your Call of Duty Modern, whatever the hell crap, for the Xbox or whatever system you got, and it's $60. Okay,
Yeah.
so instead of spending $60 on one game, you spend $60 a year for access to whatever. So if it has something you're into, yeah, cool, go for
yeah,
it. If it's not, don't.
if they come out with a lot of good games, I could see this working, and them taking probably a lot of money away from like Steam, especially if games start coming over and say, hey, if Apple's going to pay me more or whatever, it could. Now,
No.
I don't see it happening.
You're talking different markets because you're
Yeah,
talking.
it's Apple.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking handheld versus desktop.
No, because
They're not going to take it away from Steam,
Okay.
because Steam, they tried to proliferate the handheld market.
But here's a question:
Apple
Arcade is
and
desktop.
Google,
I was going to
already
say,
ha-
arcade is going to come to the
they're
desktop.
not taking it from Steam. They're not taking it from Steam. I'm
Well,
just telling you
Steam
right
is purchase and I own it. Arcade is rent and subscribe.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
completely different markets there.
yeah.
That's where I
now. I
think
agree
they're not.
with Steve.
And there's let's face it, there's a billion more Windows computers out there that have access to Steam than there are updated Macs, updated Apple TVs, and updated iPhones who are going to subscribe.
And
the Apple
Linux, because Steam went into Valve Corp, who owns Steam. They went into the Linux market and BSD, and they're actually going to proliferate that because that's what Steam OS runs on.
Yep.
So Apple's not going to take it from Valve. They're not going to do it. Valve owns the market.
You never know. Apple
been-
might buy Steam. You never know.
No, I highly
doubt
doubt
it.
that. Yeah, because Amazon, other companies, they've tried to hammer it at Valve Corp, and Valve has destroyed them in the market. I mean, what was it? It was what's that one Electronic Arts did? It was Origin. Yeah, that was a failure. It's still there, but it's a failure. Not Bethesda. It's another company. Tried to do their own client. It got crapped all over. They're not going to destroy Valve. Valve has their own thing. They've got their shadow play stuff kind of thing. I can't remember what the name of it is, but share play, whatever. They're not gonna do it. Valve is not threatened by them.
I think it's interesting though, because there's not really any subscription game services that are exclusive to different developers and different systems. Like, yeah, all right, it's an Apple device or whatever, but like, yeah, you can kind of argue it's like an Xbox Live or a Nintendo Switch subscription or whatever. But I think it's interesting that they're doing this because there's not many of those, as far as I know, on a computer. So it's kind of interesting that they're doing that. So I'm interested to see. I'll probably do the 30-day trial and go from there. But I guess it has to depend on if you actually like the stuff or not.
Well, when you say the computer, I see what you're saying with that, but that's what Microsoft is also going to. And to be quite honest, as I said before the call, Microsoft is kind of dominating the cloud market. And if they really push in on Microsoft's market, Apple's going to have a bad day.
Yeah, true. Could. Now, the next thing that they introduced at the keynote was a new iPad, which I thought was, what are they doing? They put an A10 and a 10.2-inch iPad and called it new. I'm like, dude, that's like 3 generations old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, come on.
That's what I have in my iPhone 6.
Yeah. It's like, come on, guys. I mean, if you're going to make a new iPad, put the newest processor in it. Even though they
listen, I have an opinion about that. People are still going to an Apple store today and paying full price for the trash can Mac Pro.
Well,
that's people.
Okay, those are just dumb people.
They can start selling iBook GeForce tomorrow, and people will buy them full price. That's just the Apple clientele.
Well, I can't dispute it.
No. So I think what was the price? $329 or something like that. Is what the.
I'm not paying $400 for an iPhone.
No. Yeah, that's about what it is. 10.2 inches. It works with the Apple Pencil, the old Apple Pencil, not the new one. So it's the old one that sticks into the bottom.
Hold on, let me go find the old one.
And
yeah, there you go.
And here's one of the things, the pet peeves that got me for the whole keynote. I wanted USB-C on everything because they came out with the Mac Pro, or not Mac Pro, but the iPad Pro last year with USB-C.
Good luck.
Why didn't they come out with it on the phone?
Next year, though.
Why didn't they come out with it
next year?
It's not Steve Jobs' era.
But no, that's going to happen next year. You had the X or whatever, which was the breakthrough whatever the heck phone. Okay, last year. This is the speed bump. You're not getting too much other than a camera bump like you did with the S series.
Well, I thought the XS was the speed bump, the 10S.
And I'm old and
wait. The new speed bump, as I have to put this out there. A friend of mine actually put this on Discord. It was not our Discord, another one, but basically took the 3 little cameras, that are on the back of the new iPhone. Go buy yourself something else. And actually put a frying pan on top of it. It's like, the iPhone
oven.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
oven, stove. Yeah, stove top. Take your pick. So he actually photoshopped in on a Mac no less. Yeah, there we go. So on a Mac no less, he photoshopped in a little pot of water boiling on top of one of those 3 cameras because it does.
Okay.
It looks like a stove.
Okay, here I got to correct Jake over here because he's saying he checked what's in the box. Yes, it has a USB-C quick charger. However, it is a Lightning adapter to USB-C. Okay, it is not USB-C to USB-C. Okay, so don't get that confused, Jake. It is USB-C on the charging side to the wall. It is Lightning to the phone. They all still.
Which means.
Yeah.
You could shove it in a newer MacBook or MacBook Pro that has a USB port in the C variant.
Yes.
And you can shove it in there with your Lightning connector on the other end, which means it will work all the way back to a 5.
Yes.
And by the way, Rocky, in case you
What's up?
haven't seen the trend yet, you got the cheese grater Mac Pro. You
Yes,
got
I do.
the oven or whatever you call it, the cooking top iPhone. You know, Apple was going in the kitchen utensils business with smart forks and all that kind of stuff.
I love it. That's
I seen that one. Yeah, I was laughing at that. Smart fork.
hilarious.
Smart fork.
So you,
Like your phone is gonna communicate with your spork and see how many bites you take, how much calories you do, and then your water bottle is gonna glow because it's time to take a sip, and your phone is gonna just wait.
just because your
wait.
body sits there, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm the old-fashioned way. If I'm thirsty, I drink. Simple as that. I mean, come on. I don't need some app to tell me to freaking drink.
I drink.
It's gonna happen, dude, and then they're gonna go into the furniture business, and if it's time to stand up, your chair's just
Yeah,
gonna
I blame
it's gonna force you to stand up.
I blame millennials for the problems we're having today because they're too lazy to do anything.
They need the I drink app.
Greg, we don't want to alienate 90% of our audience, right?
I don't care. I'm just telling them how it is. Millennials just need to grow up.
Oh,
Get off my lawn.
There you go.
There you go.
I
Oh,
think
I
what's
love
going to happen is Apple's going to get into this smart accessory business, and they're going to corner the market with all crazy crap. And we're going to just go into a world where Apple just doesn't have computers anymore. It's all just crazy gizmos and gadgets. And that's going to be a very confusing time for everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, I want the I fart diffuser because, you know, when you've had those Mexican tacos or some other kind of taco and a lot of jalapenos, you need that I fart diffuser in the bathroom.
I have one. I have one of those.
You know, if you ever go
I'm
look,
just gonna-
Linus Tech Tips tried to make a fart detector. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Oh my god, that's great.
Dude, I swear I have one sitting next to me. My air purifier has 3 lights, green, orange, and red. I can explode Dude, I opened up Mike's box. And you saw the dust coming out of it. That thing just sits there and does nothing. But if I fart on the other side of the house, this thing goes bright red and starts blasting air at me without
It
fail.
sounds like a personal problem.
We're gonna have to
funny.
put a time mark right here because this is the funniest part of it, where Jay and his farts, you know, his deadly farts.
I fart.
I will make a video about it, put it on my channel just to prove it.
Do it. Do
Do
it.
it.
My kid will walk from my wife's office across the hall. He'll walk to the living room, and I'm just sitting here working, and suddenly that purifier's like, I turn around and said, Jacob, yes, Papa. Did you fart? Yes, Papa. I knew it.
Oh God.
That's great.
All right, we're getting off subject here. Well,
Oh,
actually,
no, we're not.
let's stay on kind of the subject here because let's talk about the Apple Watch and its one little feature. What was it called? The cycle tracking?
No, it's an on-screen display that's always there. You're talking about the one from the keynote the last
No,
time.
they had it on this
Time.
keynote too. They were talking about it
Oh,
again.
yeah, because they already introduced the
I
damn
know.
feature.
But yeah, they have the always on screen, which I thought was pretty cool, to be honest with you. But it's not enough to make me want to go out and buy a new Apple Watch. I still own the Series
Yeah,
Zero.
that was-
So,
Anything big.
yeah.
If they
I
would
have
have
to,
all of them cellular, that would have been a big jump. I'm like, okay, so they're all cellular now. That would be a pretty big jump. But I didn't see that.
And the funny thing is that they're still selling the Series 3. I think they're starting it at $199. Yeah, it starts at $199,
Yeah.
the Series
Ouch.
3. Actually, that's cheap compared to what it was. But that's with cellular and GPS.
No, that's
Oh,
yeah.
just GPS? Okay.
The 199 is
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I wouldn't need
Oh wait,
cellular anyway.
the NSA can track me. I want to pay $200 for that.
Yeah. But anyways,
No.
it's funny how they kept the Series 3 around, but they just basically cut the Series 4 completely. In fact, you can't even find it on their website
What?
anymore. Yeah, they went from
Are
3
you kidding me?
because the Series 5 looks
It's very
exactly
similar.
like the
Yeah.
Series 4, except for the
Oh.
only difference really is that always on screen.
So
Yeah,
a
that's-
And a
rebranded
compass.
Series
And a compass.
4.
They put a little compass in it now too. Whoop-dee.
No, okay.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, just buy a refurbished or a new unboxed Series 4 and call it a day.
Yeah.
Add the compass yourself. Oh, look, Ma, I get to carry a compass. Wait, my car has a compass
Well,
built
your
in.
phone, if you have a newer iPhone that's newer than the iPhone, I think anything but 3G up,
3GS.
or 3GS,
Yeah.
up, has a compass built into it already. So,
Wait, does my 3GS have a compass?
should.
Hold on. We can test
But
that.
it does.
I own one.
I gotta say,
Or, you know,
find
you
out.
as
could
much
just
as I'm
look up
not a
at the
fan of the
stars
Apple
in the
Watch,
sky.
I don't own an Apple Watch. I probably never will. I do see the health benefits, especially for. I would love to get my parents an Apple Watch with the fall detection and the heart rate monitor thing. You know, I can see the benefits of that. But
Now wait, you
that's
say fall detection. How is a watch going to detect you fell when a watch
dude, that
is
feature
being...
is literally a year and a half old.
Accelerometer?
How have you heard of that?
accelerometer.
Yeah, but wait, it has an accelerometer. You're moving your darn hands when you
Okay,
walk.
but it can.
How is it going to detect you just fell
because
to the floor?
it can detect difference between walking, sitting down and standing up, and falling. It can actually detect all those.
Let me demonstrate. Damn thing didn't work.
Well, you only have the Series 3, right?
Again.
Oh, okay.
Try falling
Yeah,
the other
my
way.
feet.
All right,
Uh,
we have to mark that one. That moment right there needs to be
this
marked.
is going to be the comedy show this night. So, just talking about the
know.
keynote is pure comedy.
We need the blood. We need the blood. Come on, where's the blood in the episode?
Yeah, one of the I think what was the other feature they had on the watch that I thought was but
They need blood detection for Grudy.
yeah. Well, they have the cycle tracking, so I don't know how it detects that unless you put it in there. But you know,
Oh, I got it. The highlight of the entire freaking thing. New colors.
oh
Yay.
yeah,
Oh,
colors that I didn't even like. I mean, purple, green, yellow. What was
hey, I
red?
like purple.
No, we're talking about the watch,
Well,
right?
not
watch
only the
is-
watch, but the phones. The watch.
The iPhone, the 11 also comes in colors. But yeah, there's no blue, so it sucks.
Yeah, it's like
You want to see that? You want to see that color green? My kid has a cold. I could walk to him right now, have him blow his nose. He got the exact same color. It's disgusting. It's horrible.
Put that on a case, Jay. You could set up your own Etsy shop.
Yeah, there you go.
right?
but
You are absolutely correct. There is no compass on the 3GS. I have validated that. I just want to make that known.
so it came out.
For
it
any
might have came out on the
doubters
4
doubting-
then, huh? It has one. You said?
No, it has none.
Oh, okay.
Not there.
Yeah, 3GS also features a compass app. You
Yep.
have to probably down or upgrade the
What?
OS.
Yeah, you probably have to upgrade the OS.
It's at the latest OS. What are you talking about? This
It's
is
a
3GS with the latest.
It's a separate app. I know that.
You probably have to download it from the store, or maybe it was optional.
I think it.
No, it was included.
What?
Actually, I think it was. It wasn't part of the.
Voice control and digital compass.
Oh wait, you know what's actually in the holder? Not the 3GS. That's the 3G.
See, Rocky's messing with us. See, he's
Hey,
That's
punking
how,
us.
it was
someone we
8
know
gig.
ended up with an iPhone 6 instead of a 6S. Remember?
Oh yeah, you're correct. You,
Yeah,
sir,
in fact,
are
he's
correct.
probably watching the show right now. As a matter of fact, so.
He is. Just wait, we'll get on Discord and we'll hear his car.
So, anyways, the watch is coming in titanium,
That
ceramic. I think it's
ceramic?
yes. The
Is that a color?
no, it's white.
See, another cooking item.
Yeah, it's white ceramic, and they're calling that the
Wait, you mean
edition model, I guess.
3GS color?
Yeah. But they're calling it the edition model. So it's going to be a lot more expensive.
Oh God.
So yay, we go back
Like they
to
need a more expensive phone.
yeah, we go
Are
back
they
to
still making a gold one?
no. They stopped that because they probably didn't sell many of them at $10,000 a pop. I didn't think they would sell many.
Oh, only 10,000? I'll take 2.
Unless you're like Bill Gates or somebody, you know, then you're probably not going to buy a $10,000.
Yeah, Bill Gates is going to
No.
buy an Apple Watch.
Yeah, exactly.
He probably
You
would.
freaking
Because
beat me to it.
Microsoft
That's
doesn't sell a
hilarious.
watch.
His wife will buy it, and then she'll have to hide it from him. They're not allowed to have iPhones. in their house.
No. You know what's funny? I bet money Bill Gates owns a bunch of Apple products.
He
He
probably
probably
does.
doesn't use.
stock too.
he probably does.
You were
Yeah.
almost rhyming there, Rocky. You're like, you know what? I would bet money Bill. Wait, what? Crap. You said something and it rhymed, but I forgot what it was.
Well, now I know we talked a little bit about this earlier, but the last item is the phone itself. I think
Hey, best phone ever.
no, because if you look at the back
on.
of that thing, it has a camera bump on
It's
a
fine.
bump.
It does not have a bump.
Yes, it does.
This is a 3GS.
No, no.
It's
No,
fine.
it doesn't.
Dude, you're on the wrong frequency.
3GS has no bump, man. This is the best phone ever. No bump.
We're talking about the new phones from the Keynote.
Yeah, it's
Hashtag no bump.
garbage. The new phone is garbage.
It has a
Throw it in the
camera bump on a bump.
No, but it is an awesome phone because it has this revolutionary feature. And it kind of goes against the whole workout craze that Apple is going on, but that doesn't matter
Okay.
because Apple loves to contradict itself. Instead of taking a step back to take a better photo, you can now just hit a button and it'll zoom out for you. And that, my friends, is worth $1,000.
And a third
Yeah,
extra lens.
Hey,
Not-
I'm all for the lenses. I just can't afford the phone. So I.
I don't even care about the lenses. I can step backwards because, I mean, granted, I'm a little fat, but I'm
Where-
not.
I
I
think
can still
it's for the
step back.
people that are taking a slow fee.
Oh, hey, that word is banned.
Yeah,
That
you
word
don't
is
have a lot of
banned.
space. You need to zoom
All right,
out.
where's that ban button here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
we're gonna have to ban.
They're
No, I
Rudy
think I think the lenses are interesting because you see some other phones that have a camera that's much larger, and it actually focuses. You know, because it has not actual focus, but it has like opticals built in, so it actually zoom a bit. So I think it's interesting to have these built in where one's always zoomed in, one's exactly.
You mean
I like-
not a phone, an actual camera?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, look at all the space on the back of that damn thing. You add as many freaking lenses as you want. I don't care. The more the merrier is what I'm thinking. I mean, yeah, it looks silly, but I actually think that it's nice to have, a wide lens and then a zoom lens. I mean, that's just me because I like
I'm
photo
gonna have to
stuff. but-
Photoshop the back. I want to put a bunch of cameras on the back just to
Yeah.
the new iPhone 35. You know,
Just looks like a damn stovetop. There you
yeah,
go.
it's got like 20
Yeah.
cameras on the back, one for everything.
Yeah. Including
You-
a telescope for those who like to
Now,
watch the
did
stars at
anybody
night.
notice that during the keynote there was one thing that was kind of missing from the iPhone launch? AR, because they've been touting that forever on the last few phones, and they added another camera, but they didn't mention anything about AR.
Okay, let's say for people who don't understand what AR is, because I mean we all
Yeah.
do, but
Well,
let's explain it just a teeny bit. Augmented reality. Dinosaurs in the real world.
or Pokemon.
Yep. Pokemon Go.
Well, I guess Rocky was just AR because he just disappeared.
Hello.
He's back.
And he's gone again.
But I don't appear over whatever, I was gonna charge my thing, but yeah, never mind.
I think they're probably on the back of their mind, but they probably didn't have anything groundbreaking to support with a new camera, so whatever.
Well, they had
You
that.
can do AR with the 6S.
Well, they showed that one editing where they were making a movie and doing all the editing and everything on it on the phone. I'm like, what professional is going to use an iPhone to film a movie? That'd be a big fat zero.
egg.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the reason why I think they're showing that is like, oh, look how fancy the camera is, and it's 4K. Look, that's fine. I mean, I always subscribe to the mantra of the best camera you have is
Well,
the best
I
camera
understand
is the
that,
one
but
you
then
have
show
with
a
you.
family out on like a vacation or something, taking videos and
Yeah,
stuff like
that's-
that. Don't
That's what I'm
show,
getting at.
Or the YouTuber. There we go.
yeah,
Exactly.
but not
Yeah, then don't show a filmmaker.
exactly a director making some kind of movie using an iPhone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's not the audience you're trying
And
to
their
sell this
cameras
to.
are good. The
Okay.
iPhone cameras are good because that's the only reason I'm on the XS right now. Upgraded from the SE to the XS because I wanted a better camera to take better pictures of my kid, and I started doing that YouTube garbage. So now I gotta need better quality for that as well. But apart from the camera, I've never upgraded my phone for any other reason than a camera.
Mhm.
But I don't need three
So-
freaking lenses.
So you're
need
buying the next camera then because you want augmented reality for your kid or something. I don't know.
No, I can have a Velociraptor taking a dump on the toilet with the current phone. Thank you very much. I don't need that.
As a feature.
So, but anyways, I mean, that's just one of the things I was kind of disappointed. And then, like I said, the USB-C thing was another disappointment. It's like, why are they still sticking with this Lightning crap? I mean, the Lightning connector is the worst connector ever that Apple has ever come out with.
It's proprietary.
Well, why'd they put it on?
Yeah, they
I
can
had
sell
one more.
But why'd they put it on the iPad Pro last year?
Somebody lost their minds and got fired.
because it's a pro.
And it's on the MacBooks.
Yeah.
You know, it's on the MacBook Pros.
But wait.
you know,
They have the iPhone Pro, which is, by the way, one of the things I hate because the naming convention is
oh my
completely
God,
retarded.
that was the naming of these things.
iPhone Pro. What? You know what my company uses? They can still buy them. iPhone 7. Really?
Not anymore. They discontinued the day.
Yeah, they can't buy it from Apple.
Well, yeah,
anymore.
they finally did. Yeah.
The iPhone 8 is the oldest phone you could still buy from Apple right now with Touch ID.
The corporate world could still buy 7 for a while.
Yeah,
We might
that's
wind
true.
up going to 8, but yeah.
Yeah, the 8 is still for sale. In fact, they dropped the price down to, I think it's $469 or something like that. I can't remember what the exact price
I'll
was
pay that for an 8.
for an 8.
I won't pay that for an 8. I'm sorry. Bite me.
Believe it or not,
Yeah, I think it's
I had it-
7 years. 7 years of the Lightning connector. I think it's time to move on.
but the 8 is a good phone too. But again, it doesn't have a a headphone jack. It has a Lightning connector, but you can wirelessly charge with the iPhone 8. So
Hey, but at least the
Can,
iPhone
can
8
either one of you
has
tell
Touch
me
ID.
what the Apple, that bouncing Jello Apple logo, did that connect to anything in the keynote?
yes,
Did
the
it
colors,
serve a
the
purpose?
colors
If
of
you-
the phones.
That
You-
was it.
You watch. Well, Jay, you didn't watch it, but if you lick the new Apple Watch, it tastes like Jello.
That makes sense.
Select
I
what
accept
jello
that
you want.
explanation.
It squirts out jelly on the screen, and then you just lick it.
Jelly
Oh
dispenser.
my lord.
All right, guys. So is that about wrap
I
up?
think if all of us organized our own event, it would be a hell of a lot better than this garbage we watch on Tuesday.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
Dude, it was
I
a
guarantee
big it was a big freaking nothing burger.
Cluster fudge.
I was expecting at least some iOS updates saying when it was coming out. I was expecting Catalina updates when it was coming out, stuff like that. And normally they do that. They say, okay, iOS.
They don't care about the Mac.
No, I'm talking about iOS even. But
Exactly.
And I expected an update on the Mac Pro.
yeah, nothing on the Mac
That's
Pro.
not going to happen. They already said release date on
Well-
that. They're like, here it is.
There's a lot of speculation that they're going to have another event in October. So who knows? They might have the.
And then Cook is going to get on stage and say, I'm sorry, guys.
We couldn't do
We're
it.
going to charge $3,000 extra because Trump, boo-hoo, he won't let us make it in China.
No, wait.
Hey.
He's going to be like, hold on, we have an American model, and it's called ARM.
Hey,
I don't know.
hey, who was saying about the new iPad?
I was.
Was it you, Jay?
I was.
Okay, you know what this iPad is?
Yeah, it's the low end.
It's a No, it's a first-gen iPad Pro.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is. I'm
That's
looking at it
ridiculous.
on their site right
with
now.
a slightly bigger
This
screen.
thing is exactly this is identical to my iPad Pro.
Waste of money.
It's the same exact thing.
So
it's a first gen iPad
So
Pro.
they didn't change anything.
I
then.
will
But
buy
they
a
said it's a
first-gen-
new.
They just renamed it iPad.
Yeah.
That's oh my God. That is just that. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm not going to say anything because then I'm going to start cursing.
Hold
But
on,
okay.
hold on, wait. We should be calling it the
But-
iPad Performa edition.
But Mike, the iPad Pro had an A10X. The iPad only has an A10.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Well,
I'm
no,
sorry.
My
So
original.
this has an A10 Fusion.
Well, my iPad Pro has an A9X. Okay.
Yeah,
What?
That's the
the second gen is the A10X.
that's the second gen. Yeah.
Why didn't they come out with the Performa edition? Because they're basically behaving like
you
they
brought that
did.
quick pick. I want the iPad Centris, I want the iPhone Quadra,
Yeah.
and I want the Apple Watch Performa edition.
There you go.
I would
Oh,
actually
hey.
buy one because of that. Because that would be amazing. They're not going to do it though.
All right, guys. I think we've beat the keynote into the ground. I to be honest with you,
Damn right.
I think the consensus for us is that basically it's a big thumbs down for.
Yep.
We got more discussion out of it after the fact than during the damn thing.
Yeah.
You got that right.
Well, as
I want my dang iPad Performa and iPhone Performa edition. Thank you very
as
much.
Jay says, we could go on for hours because we can hate for hours on this, but we got to move on a little bit here. So.
Tim Cook is like his, iPhone 11 with the 3 cameras. It looks like a cooktop.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're going to move on to our next topic here. I came up with this because I saw an article the other day, and I'm going to post it in the chat here. Apple is coming out with the T2 chips, as everybody knows, and the new Macs. The Mac Pro is probably going to have a T2 chip in it, I think. The MacBook Pros, the new ones with the Touch ID, have the T2 chip. Now, there's an article that came out that says downgrading a T2 equipped Mac can brick it. Okay, and we're talking about firmware wise. So if you put like a firmware on it that's beta, and then you try to downgrade it, it will brick your computer. And the only way to get it fixed is to send it to Apple and let them fix it. And there's
At a cost.
At cost, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're going to charge you.
So if you're always like, oh, I got the new beta, yay, look at me, which I don't never understand. But if that's you, and you do it on a Mac, let's say you install the latest Catalina beta and like, oh, it's so pretty, and then you want to go back because nothing works properly, good luck. Because you might have to downgrade your firmware to get functionality back, and at that point, you will brick your Mac. So having a backup is not going to save you.
Yeah.
Well, it'll save you if you go to another computer, but not that one.
So, yeah, I mean, I saw this article. I had to put it on here as a topic because I know we had Michael Manna on here before where he talked about, he just did not like the T2 chip. He hated it big time. And we were telling him basically build you a Mac Pro, with the 5.1, series or like that. Build something that you can use that Apple can't put a T2 chip in it.
A little birdie today told me he's going for an iMac.
He's going what?
What? iMac or iMac Pro?
iMac. Yep.
Well, for what he does, that might work. Unless he goes for video editing, then that's not going to work.
Because I have an iMac 2017, here, and my iMac 2009 runs circles around it in multi-core.
Your Mac Pro 2009.
Yes, my Mac Pro 2009.
Yeah.
runs circles around it. So
Well, to be fair, your iMac is an i3.
no, it's
I don't know why you
i5.
ever spend
5.
money on an i3
It's
or
an
an
i5.
i5, but yeah, it's just as bad as an i3.
Yeah, it's only got
No,
it's
no,
got,
no.
Did you do
There's
that?
What are you smoking, dude?
it has 4 CPU cores but no hyperthreading. So basically it's 4 cores.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
trash.
Whereas my classic Mac Pro here has 12 cores with hyperthreading, so it has 24 threads. No problems.
Now, to be fair, on your iMac, the single core speed, which matters to certain gamers, is much better on your iMac than it is on your Mac
Not
Pro.
much better.
But,
But
dude,
it
these
is better.
days, we're coming up on 2020. If any software still leverages single core over multi-core, it's garbage
Exactly.
anyway.
And
I would 100% agree with that statement. However, that still tends to be in certain circles the norm, unfortunately.
well, they need to start redoing their stuff because, to be like Jay just said, using a single core today is even the iPhones have multi-core processors. It's just dumb to use single core processing anymore.
And even Apple does
Yeah.
it. For example, the Mail app. My mailbox, and I mean the folder on my Mac that holds all the mailboxes and stuff, is about 60 gigs. Right? I've had that
hell?
since day one. And I've been migrating
Who
it
has
for
a
the last
60
20 years.
gig freaking email box? What are
have
you
Did you
everything.
listen? He's
smoking?
had it since day one.
I have everything
Jesus
back to day one.
Christ.
And Mail
I've
only
never
uses
seen a 60 gig email
a
box.
single core. If I select the mailbox and I say archive
Wow.
and I pull up Activity Monitor, one core does all the work. Not even Mail uses all the cores in the machine, which is ridiculous.
Now, you say archive and your computer completely shits itself because you all of a sudden want to archive a 60 gigabyte email box.
Well,
That's not the point. It's not one mailbox. It's like 600 folders. But if I select
Jeez,
one of them
Louise.
and I say archive, or I select a whole bunch of email and I mark them as unread or read, Mail
Okay.
only uses a single core to perform its task.
You and I, we're going to have a talk about email boxes and the fact that holy
what?
mackerel.
You can lecture me during a game of UT.
No, that's unfair. Okay.
Every
You
time
have
you
the
kill Jay, you get to
podcast-
speak.
Which
No,
means he
no,
has to be
no,
quiet
no,
forever
that's
because he's
unfair.
not going to
That's
kill
unfair.
Jay.
I set up mail servers. No. We can talk this out without you shooting me in the face on UT because I'm terrible.
I severely doubt that.
I think he's,
Oh,
Jay
man.
likes to shoot you.
No,
It's more fun if he shoots you in the face while you're
Jay
yelling
likes
at
to
him.
shoot you in the back. Sorry.
Wait. We have the elusive creature known as the Groody. It has appeared again.
All right, guys. So are we pretty much done with this topic as far as the T2 goes? 'Cause
Yeah.
I think everybody just needs to know that if you have a T2 equipped Mac and you try to downgrade it, it will probably brick it. So,
And you can't run Linux on it, so
Yeah,
have
don't
a
do
nice
that.
day.
so. All right. So,
And you probably just should buy a T2 equipped Mac
yeah.
anyway.
So our next topic is iPod collecting. We know that iPods are pretty much dinosaurs now because, iPhones came out and they have music capability because Steve Jobs came out on stage and says an iPod, a phone, an internet communicator. Remember that? So,
Yeah.
but there's still people that like to use iPods. Myself, I still use a couple of them. I have this one sitting right here. It's one of the older ones. I had to replace the screen in it because the screen was messed up, but it still does work. See, works perfectly fine. It has the hard drive in it. Still holds a charge. It still does all the stuff. I mean, I listen to stuff on here all the time. The only problem is I can't go up and down on my volume because I don't have the little, the one that actually fits in here to do that. It has a special headphone for that.
Remote.
Yeah, there you go.
I think I have a spare remote laying around somewhere if you ever
Well,
need
send
one.
it to me. Dang it.
That's on live stream, so you
That's
have to
right.
do
That's
it
why we
now.
need you here.
And the other iPod
Right.
I have is an iPod Nano, 8 GB that I keep in my Jeep all the time because I have a radio that actually will actually connect to an iPod, and it sits in my console all the time. I don't even take it out, and I can access it through the screen on my in my Jeep. So I use that as a secondary music source besides what I have for XM radio. But that's my two iPods that I collected. So, Grudy, since you came up with this one and you were waiting to come back for this topic.
Yeah. Yeah, I came up with this topic idea because there's been a lot of people recently talking about iPods, and I'm currently looking on getting my own, getting another one. I mean, because I've been collecting iPods since probably about early 2007. My first iPod I had was an an iPod by HP,
I have one of
40 gig, which I still have. It was the first iPod I ever tore apart, so it's been Frankenstein together. It doesn't look very pretty, but I've been collecting. I got that in 2004 when it was brand new. Then I got the iPod Video, and then I got the 5.5 generation iPod Video, and then when the sixth generation Classic came out, I started collecting them. I got from the first generation all the way through the very last seventh generation, which I custom built, turned into a modern day U2 iPod Classic, and then someone robbed my car last year.
Yeah,
And
did you ever get that back?
No, never got it back. Did find the guy that stole it, but we couldn't prove anything. So,
Oh, okay.
Love it.
That's because
I didn't
that's because
hear
the
the
picture
end of
he
that.
had of the serial number was so pixelated.
oh no, we could still prove it was mine. I had many pictures of that thing. And the picture he provided, see, the guy tried to sell it on Facebook Marketplace 6 months after he stole it. And it popped up in my Marketplace feed. So, but the state police, everyone could verify it was mine. I had enough proof to show it was mine, and we just could never find the guy. So, it's gone. But I've been in the market looking for another 7th gen 160 gig to rebuild, and came up with this topic idea. And it's something I was very passionate about. It's something I started collecting long before my Zippo obsession I had for a few years. I've got like
You're
300
fired for
Zippos.
that.
And then,
Are you like walking around?
yeah,
Yes, he's making
It's
me
making
dizzy.
me dizzy.
so
I'm gonna turn off the
I'm in a
computer 'cause
bedroom.
I'm
I don't
about
have
to
this
throw
thing
up.
set up on anything. I'm holding it.
But you could.
Why are you walking around?
Well, how else am I going to light
Because
my
he wants
face?
Just stand still.
he wants to
Right
make
there.
it seem like we're using FaceTime
I
again.
know.
But anyway, where was I? You made me lose my train of thought,
collecting.
guys.
That's not hard to
You
do
were
with
collecting
you.
iPods.
Bow's gonna
iPod.
throw up,
Before
so
you-
we're okay.
But yeah, I wanted to build another one of those. I have every single iPod Classic except the very last one now. And in fact, my 120 gig I upgraded to a 160 gig hard drive from the model before, and put a back case on it and stuff, and got the Genius playlists and stuff on it. But I'd like to get the very last 7th generation again, custom build that. But I've been using iPods since it was my first, Apple device, really, even though that one was technically an HP device. And I use them daily, really. I didn't bring any with me on the trip I'm on, but my main user is a 2nd generation iPod Mini with a 28 gig flash card in it, and brand new battery. The battery will last literally days on it, and it's really one of the best DACs ever made. Really good audio quality.
Which model was that again?
Huh? Second
Which model was
generation
that again?
iPod Mini.
Okay.
And then
As Mike looks it up.
I have a lot of iPods, and I love using them. All of them were functional. My second and third generation, my custom FireWire charger, and my lamp, I think, fried the data lines on it.
Ooh.
How
So
did
I
a
can't
lamp
sync them
do
To
that?
be honest with you,
But they'll charge
yeah,
and run.
to be honest with you, I don't use my phone for music. Couple of reasons. One, I don't like to take up all the
I do.
space on there. Two, it doesn't have a headphone jack.
What are you
It's
talking
nice
about?
to have
Take
a
up all the
headphone
space.
jack.
I have the Max Edition. Whatever.
I have a
of
64.
the
I have a
iPhone
64
6S.
gigabyte. I don't need anything bigger.
That's it.
Yeah. I don't need anything
Yeah.
bigger.
I don't ever
128
want to run out of
gigs.
space again. That's why I got the 512. I want to be done.
Yeah,
And I
you get
got
the
a
Max.
256.
You don't buy the base model. You buy the Max model.
I don't care. I got what I wanted. So hey,
Well, when I'm in a
What his
pinch, I
wife
just stream off my phone. I have iTunes Match still.
I
So,
got
what?
rid of that because it was a waste of money, and
It's just $25 a year. It's not
that's
bad.
$25
What do you mean
a year.
iTunes
I'm
Match?
not
What are
paying
you talking
Apple.
You know what it is.
But it's $25 to have every single song you own on your playlists.
I have
Really?
every
Oh,
I have
that
every
song
single song I own
Keynote
on
50
CD.
that I stream anywhere.
Yep, I do too.
You coming?
Yeah.
All right, turn the
Yeah.
stream off.
I have
Otherwise,
I have every single song I own on CD. So
Yep.
Hey
I
guys,
do
say hi to my little brother.
Hello,
Hello.
little brother.
Say hi, Austin.
Hello.
but yeah,
You're famous now. 300 people
well,
are on
there's
our,
only 17
our
watching right now, and
subscriber
5
list.
of them are us.
Yeah, there's only 17 watching right
Yeah.
now, guys.
But we have 300 subscribers, and
Hey,
at least
we
half
just
of
went
them
down
do
to 15,
shit on the post.
so
Dang it,
I'll
Grudy!
see you in the
It's your
slider.
fault.
that's right.
I'll move over here.
So
I'm going to emulate Grudy's lighting.
Yeah,
me
this
too.
room doesn't have very good lighting. There we
Hello.
go.
It's nice to meet you, Austin.
well,
Just saying.
Now he's taller than you.
here's the thing though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
We
taller
were
than
saying this too. Is that has anybody watched Grudy's videos where he doesn't use a tripod?
Hey, hey. I didn't bring a tripod because, well, for one thing, I thought I was going to be in Morgantown by now.
And he can hold
coming
your
back.
camera for you. You don't need a tripod.
What?
You got a free tripod right there.
Hey, you got a human tripod.
I got a tripod right here.
You just got to pay him hourly.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, like I have that kind of money.
That
What? You butthead. We're gonna kick you after this stream.
Right.
UT, you guys are getting on me about UT and getting my butt kicked, but
Hey,
come
I
on,
tried to
really?
get on UT
oh,
during the tournament on
after
Sunday.
we
at
all-
You
11:30,
don't
you
even
guys were
know.
gone.
You don't even know what UT looks like. You haven't been there in like a year.
all right, guys. I think we're
I haven't been there in a while.
degenerating here a little bit.
Yeah.
I am
Back to the
degenerating.
topic.
What are you talking
So,
about?
so, Greg, what's your favorite iPod model?
That is a hard one. I'm somewhere between the second generation 20 gig because it was just so comically large. It's literally the size is literally that thick. And I
Playing
had
card.
I was using one in high school one time. My friend decided to punch me in the leg and nearly broke his hand.
Like
It's
this one.
technically labeled as the playing card deck
Like this one.
model.
Yeah, like that one. And
But
Oh,
my
give
other
it credit,
favorite one-
back in that time period, that was a very small media player for the era.
Oh yeah.
It was.
I think the original 10 gig one is the thickest, though.
No, the 20
Might be
gig
right on that.
second gen
This
was.
is a 20. This is a
Really?
20 gig right here.
Yeah, the
Playing
the
card
original
size.
10 gig was actually I think a little bit thinner than the 5 gig and 5 gig. It was
I'm
short,
looking it up.
but
One was thick as heck.
Well, the
that's all I
first one, the
remember.
very first one was thick. I think.
yeah,
It was thicker than this.
yeah, the 20 gig was thicker.
What? This is.
Yeah, because it was a double platter hard drive, so they had to make
Makes
it
sense.
thicker.
I don't know. I think
But,
that the original one was thicker.
Oh, trust
No,
me,
actually,
GP, I have an
It
original.
was actually Greg's right. It wasn't the one he's
Yeah.
talking about. The second gen one actually it was like 4.5 inches thick. The original one was just a little over 4 inches thick.
4
Yeah.
inches? Because this thing is only about maybe half an inch.
Wow.
You got a newer one.
Oh no, yeah, I'm sorry. That's 4.5
Oh, boy,
inches.
you're
4
high.
inches? That's like
I'm reading
that
the
thick?
wrong
It
spec.
was like an inch thick. But and the other one would probably be the third generation. I love the touch controls on that, although they could be very testy sometimes. That and the fact that you couldn't charge with anything but FireWire, that was a bit of a pain in the butt too.
Oh, never ran into that.
Yeah. So yeah, those are my two favorite. And those are also the two I have that are broken.
well, you got a lot of stuff that's broken.
Fix them already, man. What the hell?
Colin Mister
Don't
has
bleed on
had
it,
them
though.
for almost 2 years now trying to fix
Why does he have them?
because he was going to try to trace back where the damage was on the board and fix them for me. I'm getting to the point where I'm just going to buy 2 new ones.
Or send them to Jay, who might be able to fix them for a reasonable price.
I went through both boards. I could never find where they were actually fried at. So it's probably under some chip.
I wouldn't
You're
expect.
boring
you
the
to-
heck out of your
Well,
friend there.
you got to remember.
My brother.
You got to remember. Grudy bought a hot
He's
air,
still your friend.
Surface mount workstation, and has never unboxed the thing yet.
I unboxed it on camera on Mac Yak. I just never used it past unboxing.
Yeah, you've never actually plugged it in, right?
Right.
I say
I took
pay
the car for a
Jay
drive. I just didn't leave the drive.
That's
yeah,
been
there you
almost a year, Grudy. A year.
Yeah.
go.
Well, that was what, episode 5 maybe? It was whatever episode Colin.
And then
was
you
on,
do the.
his
Then you
actual
do your.
fix.
You owe Jay royalties for
Yeah.
that. Just saying.
Well, it was cheap. It was in a very affordable hot air station. I just never used it.
I use mine all the
We're
time.
blowing a lot of hot air now.
Oh, guys. All right.
You're never gonna live it down, just like I'm never living down my typo.
Now, Mike,
so,
yeah,
it's
You
okay.
said you got a pretty big.
Oh, you mentioned it. Now I got to post
Watch
on
it,
Discord.
Fog.
Hold on.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I said fog.
Yeah, you said fog. I typed something else the other day.
Well, no,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was
Moving right
like
along.
about 4 months ago, and we still
2
won't let
months.
that one
Yeah,
go.
that was
I
a
know
while.
it was a long time ago. I haven't typoed flubbed like that in a while.
That's because we don't let you type anymore.
Exactly.
Right?
His hands are duct taped to his shoulder. He can't do anything.
Hold on, let me apply the duct tape now.
We
Yeah.
we took away his keyboard privileges while we're in Mac Yak.
Well, I happen to be the owner of the Discord
Well,
channel.
that's different. We're talking about Mac Yak, who I happen to be the owner of the channel.
So any of you other guys collect iPods?
Well, that's what I was going to talk about, Mike.
I forgot to mention the other things I have, like the shuffles and the nanos and all that stuff.
My
But
daughters.
Yeah, Mike said
Yeah.
he has a pretty big collection. I was wanting to know what he thinks about collecting.
I'll be right back, by the way.
yeah, Mike, what do you think?
Or is he frozen?
He left.
Is he frozen?
Mike is
Yeah.
Ah,
I'll be right back.
Hey, so I have an iPod, but the screen is frozen. Rudy, can you help me diagnose it?
Well, yeah, probably. I used to. What the heck?
what?
It has no screen. It's just a circuit.
Oh, you could buy. I found a place you could buy
Well,
the
no.
screens at.
No, duh, the screen's frozen.
Yeah.
Then.
I actually bought a new screen for this one.
Oh yeah, I probably have the parts somewhere, but I think the hard drive's dead too, so I just never bothered to do anything with it. It's a 20 gig, so I could probably eventually just put like an SD
It's the
adapter
same.
in
It's
there
the
or
same
something.
one as this one.
I want to build an SD powered 20
Third gen.
They were nice and sleek.
We lost Rocky
I have
too.
a 15 gig.
Yeah,
he
it looks like we lost Rocky.
You said he stepped away.
Oh,
You just didn't
okay.
hear it.
Huh.
I have a third gig. I have this 20 gig. I have a 5th gen and a 5.5 gen, and I have the shuffle somewhere that is kind of broken. But
Out of the
I don't have
video
too many.
ones, I think my favorite is the 5.5. It seemed to have the sharpest screen. For
Yeah,
some
I
reason.
actually used that not long ago, and we were talking about watching movies on devices. Watching on that little 2.5-inch screen, I watched Pirates of Silicon Valley on a plane ride once.
My 4th generation iPod Color I have hacked with Rockbox. I watch videos on it all the time.
The iPod Photo, yes. Well,
Yeah.
actually,
Well,
the iPod Photo was released in 2004 this month, so there you go. That's
yeah.
a little history there.
You had the 4th generation black and white, and then you had the Photo, which was another product line. And then towards the end of the 4th generation, they combined the two into the iPod Color, which was literally just a photo, but they put it in the classic.
Yeah, that was like a short-lived one because it was like, hey, color, you can't do anything.
Yeah, it was like for 3 months, if that.
Yeah, my friend had one, but I never had one.
Yeah.
What about you, Greg? How many iPods you got?
I have 2, and I said I have the iPod Nano, and I have the iPod Classic, which the 2nd gen, I guess, the 20 gigabyte one.
It's a
There's
4th.
4th, whatever. I don't know. All I know is that I got it cheap, and I've actually been trying to use this polishing method to polish it up because it was scratched. I mean, it was scratched to hell.
I'm about to get off here. So.
I've actually polished the screen up enough to where you can barely see the scratches. I'm going to put do some more work on it and stuff, but it seems to be working pretty good, and it actually takes the scratches out of the white portion as well, the plastic portion around the screen.
You talking about Brasso?
No, it's
or what?
let me show you what I'm talking about. It's the
Back in the day, they had a
this
polishing
Novus
compound
stuff.
called Novus. Oh,
so you have 3 different ones. You have
buffer
heavy scratch
stuff.
remover, okay, which is this. Then you have the number 2, which is the fine scratch remover. And then you go down to the last one, which is plastic clean and shine. So it basically goes from a hard grit to, and Siri, shut up, Siri. I don't know why it started up on it. But yeah, that's what we're going on right now. So, but that's what I'm trying to use on it. And I have little spin discs that I could put on a, to actually
Dremel.
use a drill to polish it.
Yeah, back in the day, they sold this
Why am I not
product
hearing
called
anybody?
applesauce. And I'll tell you what, the applesauce compound smelled terrible, and it did not worth a darn. So that was just a waste of money. My iPods are still all scratched up. But then again, I use them, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Well, I've also been trying to use this stuff on some MacBooks that I have, some of the plastic MacBooks. So
Yeah.
I've been trying that on there too, and it actually seems to be working. It's going to take a lot of work to get some of these scratches out of it, but I think it's going to come out pretty good, but it's going to take a lot of time and effort to get it out, because basically all you're doing is you're taking a layer of plastic off pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So anything else, guys, considering everyone else left?
well, not everyone.
You could run, Rudy.
What are you talking about?
I think Grudy's telling us it's time to go.
Another thing that I really enjoyed doing on them, because I mentioned I rock boxed them. I also would put iPod Linux and stuff on them. That was the first Linux distro I ever used, was iPod Linux. And
A heck of a way to learn.
yeah. Every single iPod I own that had a screen on it, actually, even my 2nd generation Nano has it. every single screened iPod I own can play video back on it, and that's literally the only reason why I put iPod Linux or Rockbox on them. It was fun to do.
Mike
back in
is
the day.
back. Hold on.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hey.
All right, I guess I'll go next. I have every single iPod up until the 7th generation iPod Touch. With the exception of the U2 models, because there's nothing I hate more on this planet than U2. So I don't have those.
But they were cool looking.
And my all-time favorite is the 3rd gen with the buttons that glow red. That thing is just epic.
Hey, Starla. What's up?
I just want the tub.
You just want the tub? Sorry.
Yep. All right, so is that about it we're going to talk about for iPods?
Yep.
I guess so.
All right, I guess we can move on to our next topic.
All right. Well, I'm going to head out then, guys. You want to say bye, Austin?
Bye.
All right,
See you later, guys.
Goodbye,
we'll
Austin.
catch you later.
I'll see you guys
Yep.
later. Good luck on the rest of the
All
show.
right. Bye. All right.
Grudy's fired.
Yes. He doesn't know it yet. You guys are hearing it first from us.
Pink slip in the mail.
So, anyways, our next topic is let me get it up here. New history, news, and rumors.
What your wife said.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! You just—I was making that as a joke, and you're like, yeah.
No, I was
Wow.
saying yeah as a joke. Come on now. Anyways,
Well, I'm going. See you later, guys.
yeah, see you. Steve came up with some history here, so I'll let Steve take it over from here for the Apple history.
Sure. So, just some notable things in September. So, the oldest thing I could find that I felt like talking about was the Apple III. So, almost 40 years old. That's 39 years ago. I think September 1st, 1980. So, yeah, I mean, the Apple III was a failure in all respective ways. I'm putting the link in to the Wikipedia article on the YouTube chat. This thing cost about $4,000 to $7,000, $8,000 back in the day. So it was a hefty price tag. It was meant to be like a business computer, like a successor to the Apple II. And it just had all sorts of problems down to, the way the motherboard was made was using a new experimental way with thin traces on the board. The case was designed before the internals were designed. All sorts of problems happened. And the thing, while it was pretty revolutionary in, let's say, the operating system and some of the hardware features, it just flopped. It really didn't have any of the reach that the Apple II did. So, it was a big failure on Apple's part. And it's an interesting machine. I have one, and it's fun to play with, but they're heavy. and they go for a lot of money, I guess, on eBay and such. But yeah, just almost 40 years old, so it's kind of amazing it still works. Next on the list here, we had the Macintosh Portable. So this is before the PowerBook, before there was
Steve,
a laptop.
hold on, one quick question about the Apple III.
Oh, all right.
Did
Yes.
Steve Wozniak have anything to do with that?
I don't believe so. I don't think he was involved in that. I know he was very critical of the flaws of it, what it had. But I don't think he was particularly, actually involved in it to any sense of a degree. I think it was the big reason for the failure was like the whole marketing team of Apple sort of got a hold of shaping this product and just turned into a big mess.
Okay. I was just wanting to make sure that, because I know that Wozniak, he was pretty particular about how he wanted things to work. And
yeah, I think if he was involved, it never would have been the way it was, shipped
Yeah.
away. So.
Okay. I just wanted to
Wait,
ask about that before you got
would
to the
have
next one.
Passive cooling.
Oh no, yeah. So yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail here. Just some cool things to note. The Macintosh Portable, which was the predecessor to the PowerBook, which is like one of the first like modern laptops. So the Macintosh Portable was a luggable. It's not really too portable by today's standards. It sort of like closes like an old laptop, but it has this huge back to it. Has a big heavy battery. Has a proprietary hard disk because it had to be low power and everything. These things are pretty cool. They could go for quite a bit on eBay. I had the chance to get one for under 100. I think it was under $250, but it was quite a drive away, and it needed some resurrecting. And I have an old PowerBook, so I don't really need an older system. It's a neat machine, but some of the problems with it is basically if the battery dies, you have to resurrect that battery because they cannot run off of the power from a wall adapter on its own unless you do some hacks to it. But it's your run-of-the-mill 16 megahertz Mac Classic type machine. So about almost 30 years ago, so 29 years ago, this thing was released. So pretty cool just to look back in history and see how things have evolved. We're talking about how thin iPods are, and you have this monstrosity of a machine that, let's see how much this thing weighs. 16 pounds, so 7.2
Ouch.
kilograms. So not a light machine.
You get to work out with that thing.
But unlike most portable computers of the time, it actually did have a battery.
Yeah, and it had a full keyboard and a trackball. And what was neat about that is Apple designed it for lefties and righties, so you could actually have your keyboard and move that to the right or the left, and move the trackball rather from the left or the right of the machine. So depending on how you wanted to set up, you could do that, which was pretty cool.
And you could take the trackball out too, and replace it with a numeric keypad.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
There was a numeric keypad too.
That's right. Yeah, I have in one of my books here. There's a whole thing about that. I'll have to scan it in for one of my archive things. And lastly, we touched on it a little bit. The iPod Photo, so released September 2004, and it was a bit of a weird one because it had a color screen, but it couldn't play back video. This was before the iPod Video. This is about a year before the iPod Video came out. And it had a color screen, so you could view your artwork on your albums. If you bought them off iTunes or if you put your own artwork on them, you could view them. But the whole gimmick was photos. You take your photos from iPhoto and it syncs to iTunes, and it puts little thumbnails on your iPod, and then you can plug your iPod into a dock and plug that via a composite or an S-video connection into your big TV, and you could watch glorious 480i interlaced video signals of your photos on your TV. That was the gimmick, I guess. I never had one. It would be cool to have one, but eventually the video model just replaced it just about a year after. So it's the historical stuff.
All right.
So do you have a? Are you going to get a portable if you get another chance?
If I find one locally, I probably would pick it up if it didn't break the bank. In fact, the guy who posted on Facebook, he probably still has it. But it was way up north, a few states away, and it would have been a bit of a pain to get there. So if I have the chance to get one, I probably will. But it's not like I'm going out of my way to get one.
Guys.
All right, Mike, do you have anything for your section tonight, or should we just skip it?
I don't know. I can lug this iMac out if anybody wants to see it.
I think we've seen IMAX. So if you want.
Other than that, not
Okay.
really. I don't really have anything. I mean, the only thing I have sitting here is an iMac, and I've been too busy to do anything else lately. So hopefully next week I'll have a.
You tell people about your PowerBook video.
Well, we talked about that before, remember?
Well, I mean, he could put the link in the description.
Well, then you do it.
Try to be smooth here. Come on.
Hopefully the second part of my video will be done sometime in the next week. Things have been kind of crazy with work.
Yeah, because you left me hanging.
I was on vacation.
You were disassembling, and all of a sudden it said, boom, end. I'm like, what? Wait. All it said was, I hit a snag. You didn't even say what snag you hit.
The joy of
That's because I want you guys to stick around for the second part.
That's how you
I thought it would be done by now. I have all my cameras and everything down at the shop set up and everything. I just haven't had any time. And, things have been crazy here with family and everything else lately. So it's just, oh, my God.
That must be going around. Same problem I'm running into.
It's just, I'm still playing catch up from being on vacation for a week at work. So instead of people just saying, oh, well, the guy who does that kind of stuff isn't here right now, so can we schedule your car for a time when he's there? They just pile up everyone's cars. So I walk back to work with about 15 cars to work on. So, and since I'm the shop manager and the lead tech, that means that I get all the complicated crap. So
lucky you. You have a lot of
make
homework.
Videos of it.
What's that, Jay?
And you should make videos of it.
Yep.
And he gives away his trade secret.
If my stepdad would go for that, believe me, I would.
I think I put Mike's link to that video on Mac Yak as the featured video. So I think he's sitting up. I think it's sitting up there. So I usually try to put whoever puts the newest video of the week or whatever. I put a link in the featured video on Mac Yak's channel. So you guys get.
Well, that would be Jay with his eye schmutz.
There's what?
Yep, buddy.
Jay's eye schmutz.
All right.
Which I really need to get one of them, a couple of them.
Yes, you do.
All right. So we're going to go on to our next segment here and stick with Steve. Steve's Archive Adventures.
Yay. So today, and I'll let me look this up. My parents moved not too long ago, and they gave me a folder, and this was sitting in their filing cabinet. Essentially, when my father was looking to purchase his first computer, which ends up being a Macintosh 2CX, he went through a lot of research because you didn't have the internet in those days. And so, let me move the camera down a little bit. And so there's a bunch of newspaper clippings. There's a bunch of price lists. There's a bunch of advertisements for Macintosh computers that were new at the time. And so, here, let me move the camera because you can't really see any of this. So, this is some of the stuff I'm going to be scanning in. I already scanned in one of these, but basically just these are systems and capture equipment that he was looking at. Not necessarily that he was going to buy, but just some things that were interesting or that jumped out to him. What I did post is a price list, which I'll get to in a second. But it's just like advertisements for this place called Computerland, which was interesting. There's handwritten notes about my father comparing different Macintosh models and their prices and so on and so forth. But what I found interesting hidden in this binder of stuff was this price list. And so I'm going to copy and paste this link. Oh, yeah. So it's on the screen right now, but if you want to zoom into it, the link is here. But just look at some of these prices. So you have, this computer company, Computer Error was the name of them, and their net price was about $3,000 for a Macintosh 2CX with a floppy disk drive, and I guess that's about it. And then you have all your upgrades there. So you have an internal hard drive for only $9.99 for a whopping 46 megabytes. You could add a megabyte of memory for $300, or if you got tons of cash to burn, you could buy premium Apple memory, 4 megs for $1,000. You can see how easy this adds up. And so it just goes on and on. I mean, look at the prices of those monitors and those display boards. I probably misspelled that.
Nope,
that?
you didn't.
But
Jay did.
Oh,
it says Macintosh
I just
2CX priceless. I was wondering what Data was talking about. I'm sitting there like, what the heck is he talking about? And then I look over. Oh, it's the.
I thought he was having a damn stroke
I
or
know.
something.
No, that was me when I fell on the floor earlier. Well, I just find this hilarious because, like, you look at, like, let's say you wanted a color monitor. Well, that's at least $800. And then you need a video card to drive. Let's say you want at least 256 colors. Well, that's gonna be $649. I mean, this was not cheap, as Mike could attest to. But yeah, I just thought this was a little interesting piece of history of the pricing, stuff what was going on with these models and all the upgrades. Usually you see a lot of this stuff for the computer itself, but I usually don't see it for like the graphics boards and stuff. And so that was interesting to me. So that's what I'm sharing. And as I go through some of this stuff with all these little computers listed and everything, I'm going to scan this newspaper in because that'll be fun to look at too.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
How old were you when you bought this? What, about 12?
No. I was only a few years old probably when we got this.
Okay. So, I was going to ask you what made him decide on buying a Macintosh 2 CX, but you wouldn't know.
Now,
what he wrote down and what I asked him was the price. So the list he has here that he wrote down, he was comparing a 2FX, a 2CX, and a 2CI. So the 2CI was $6,500, the 2FX was $8,000, and the 2CX was $5,400. So the 2CX was the lowest price point there. It looks like he may have thought about getting a LaserWriter 2NT, which had a list price of $3,400, or a Texas Instrument laser printer knockoff clone or whatever you want to call it for $2,400. So yeah, he did that with the LaserWriter. It would have been about $6,000. And what I find is funny is it says word processor program about $190 to $250.
Now, here's the thing that Mike and I were talking about pre-show was everybody's complaining and moaning and griping about the price of the new Mac Pro entry level.
Yep.
Being $6,000. Okay. You look at the price of this 2CX back in the day. This is what, early 90s?
91.
Yeah, early
92.
90s. Okay.
If
you take into account inflation,
yeah,
if you take into account inflation, that thing right there was probably just as expensive as the new Mac Pro.
Actually, it's Greg. Actually, I kicked it into an inflation calculator. The 2CX with a 106 meg hard drive, 4 megs of memory, 13-inch color display with the appropriate color card to drive it comes to $12,000 today.
So that's why when I hear well, that's what I'm saying.
And that's not taking into account anything else.
But when I hear people complaining about the price, the entry-level price of the new Mac Pro, I sit there and say, do you realize that the older Mac Pros back in the day and the Macintosh 2s and stuff like that, how much they were? I mean, the original Macintosh, what, 218 or 256 or whatever, 128 rather, I'm sorry. The original Macintosh 128 was, there you go, $2,000, okay, back in 84. And if you do inflation calculators, that's still about the same price as you're paying for a Mac Pro today.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, but also the other thing too is in 1984, you also have to take into consideration that an Apple II, 1984, Apple IIe at the time would probably cost you about the same amount of money with a monitor and disk drive.
Let's see if they have one in here.
And that's why whenever I see it in the...
But comparing a 2CX to a Mac Pro is apples and oranges because the 2CX was actually a low-end model. What you really want to compare it to is a 2FX, which, as Steve said, they started at $8,000. Yeah. Most of them ended up in the $10,000 to $12,000.
That's what I'm talking about, though, is that people don't realize that the Macintoshes have cost that much forever or more.
They've always been expensive.
So
even the lowest end models are way more expensive than their PC counterparts, but they've always been a lot more powerful.
And when I see people posting on some of these groups, that's why I post a GIF of the guy beating a dead horse, because I'm like, come on, we're going to go over this again. It's ridiculous. So
I remember those ads. I used to drool over those ads, Steve.
Yeah, I have to scan this in. It looks there's even shots of like
for a portable.
yeah. Hey, that wasn't a bad deal.
That must have been a sale price because I thought those started at like 45.
Well, this was probably. Let's see if there's a date on this. I'm guessing this is. Shoot, there's no date on this thing. Oh, price is good through June 1990. So yeah, so this was.
So that was about a year after the portable came out. So okay.
Yeah, so the
makes
list
sense
price
then.
for. Yeah, they said the portable was. I'm just switching to that page. The portable list price was $47.99. They were selling it at $35.99. So, but that was probably the non-backlight screen model. They were probably trying to dump it, you know.
Well,
They had that vision of-
I think the PowerBook 100 it came out by then, so that was the go-to machine.
They were trying to dump it because of the PowerBook and all that stuff. You're right. But that's another time. I'll scan that in for next week.
All right, guys, we're going to move on to the next segment. What were they smoking? I found a pretty good one for us today. I'll post a link here. This is something I just did a quick search today. Didn't really have much time, but I was looking at specifically for Mac Pro, the classic Mac Pro 2009, which is the 4,1. Okay, because I just wanted to see what people are selling on eBay. And then I sort it by, of course, highest price first. This guy comes out with one for $3,500. Okay, I think that's probably what they.
With the monstrosity, all right.
Well, to be honest with you, I think that's what they cost brand new.
Yeah, about that.
I mean, granted, yes, he has added some stuff to it, but I don't think he's added, 2,000 and I'd say almost $3,000 worth of add-ons to it. I mean, he's got 4 3-terabyte hard drives. He's got a 240 gigabyte NVMe or M2 adapter in there. He's got USB 3 ports. He's got now. If you scroll down and you see what he's describing it as, okay, he goes. CPU, Intel Xeon 5690, 12-core Westmere, 2 CPU. The fastest. That's what he labels as, the fastest. Then he's got memory.
I like at the bottom. This computer is the best for graphic designer, video editors, and other professionals. Yeah, maybe a few years ago.
I mean, it's still good, but then he goes video card, AMD Radeon RX 580, 8 gigabyte of the best. Didn't say the fastest on that one.
Oh, he has a generous 15-day warranty.
Yeah.
What? I'm gonna buy it right now.
It is. I'll tell you what. I mean, it is a beautifully spec machine, but it ain't worth no $3,500.
I'm thinking the most.
I like
the most. Okay, I would say probably close to 800 to 900, maybe 1,000 at the very.
He doesn't even include a freaking mouse or keyboard.
Well, there's a mouse and keyboard listed in the photo, so he better include one.
On the very bottom, only the computer does not include monitor, mouse, or keyboard.
Well, what the hell?
Better come with free shipping for that price.
And then at the top, above that, he says this Mac Pro has been optimized.
Wait a second.
So it runs fast, loads multiple apps.
You said he has a 15-day warranty, right? If you look at the top, it says no returns. How are you supposed to have a 15-day warranty with no returns?
He's a long-time member, so maybe he's been out in the sun too long.
Yeah.
Well, I think Dana hit it on the head. He says, I think he was smoking the leftover cartons from all the upgrades he bought. That's about right.
All that plastic and stuff. So,
If you look at other items, he has a 4,1 for $800. He has another 4,1 for $1,000. He has just like a bunch of these. So he obviously pulled all the good parts out of one and shoved them into the other. That's what he put on eBay. But he has a bunch of these right now.
I would have to agree with you. He's basically trying to build up something that he's going to try. Well, there's 8 watchers, so that's what's really scary.
Yeah, it is kind of scary.
That's the sad part, yeah.
I think they're just watching the train wreck and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Oh, you could actually buy Adobe Creative Cloud 1-year subscription for $239.88 too with this. So you can add that on. Just saying.
Worth it.
What a savings!
Huh? Just saying.
Thank you.
But he does at least do free shipping.
I think
That's
the dust covers that Jay is putting on his Mac Pros. All the dust that collects in them. Yeah, I think that's what he's
I
smoking
think
right
you're
now.
right.
Because that's the only explanation.
I think he's smoking the dust. But he's only got a seller rating of 709. So to be honest with you, he hasn't been a long time member if he's only got a 709. I mean, a long time members I see up in the tens of thousands of ratings, 709 is not. And I wonder, 100% positive feedback, who is buying this stuff and getting suckered?
Well, that's just like the other
Been on
day.
eBay since been on eBay for 11 years.
Some
So
people just put something on eBay and leave it there. And I'm gonna paste another shameful example into the chat just because I feel like it.
Go for it.
This is a pretty cool adapter, but it's basically a plastic stand that an iMac sits on, and it has like a floppy drive in there and a USB hub. That's basically all this is. Yeah, it has a serial port adapter and an ADB adapter like built into the thing. This guy wants $100.
Is it cracked?
It doesn't even include the darn power cable. No, it's that's just how
Oh.
it looks. It's kind of a weird design, but he doesn't even have the power cord for the darn thing. And if you look at his other items, it's all just like stuff he found, industrial stuff left over in a warehouse. His price is just insane. I thought this was a typo, and I looked at the other items he has, and I'm like, all right, never mind. This guy's nut job. And he charges you $40 for shipping.
Oh, God.
I bought
You
one
are
of
just
the
bitter
different models.
because you
Dude,
want
trying
it.
to read his description is like cancer. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. It's like all the different colors he uses.
All that-
Yeah.
These terms and conditions, what am I signing up for? The App Store or something? Like,
Who wrote this? A 3-year-old?
Yeah, I have no idea. I bought a different model of these, and the shipping was free. So I don't know how this guy thinks it's going to cost $40 to ship it, but who knows what he's smoking?
Yeah,
Maybe that's where the power cable, but maybe he smoked that up.
I think I'll pass on that too. So,
Yeah.
anyways, guys, so we think they're smoking the dust and the cardboard box, right? That all those.
Yeah, I will agree
Yeah.
with that.
A lethal combination.
Our combination of both, yeah. All right, guys. So last topic tonight is our shameless self promotions. So has anybody got anything they want to try to promote for their channel?
Nope.
I'm just still working on my iMac videos. I had hit a few bit of a snags while working on them. So that's being worked
Yeah,
on.
let's talk
Hopefully I'll have
about
it out.
your iMac and what happened.
Oh no, that's not mine. That was somebody else's I was playing around
so
with.
it's somebody else's you
but-
destroyed.
It was already destroyed. So I have a friend who deals with, he gets stuff from a recycler. He gets it cheap. Condition is unknown. I help him out once in a while, and I tinker with stuff. So he had a 2015 iMac with the screen. The screen was shattered. It was like a 5K model. Screen was like destroyed. So I took the iMac home because we plugged it in. It wouldn't turn on. So I'm like, all right, I'll take it home. I'll play around with it. I stand it up on the desk. I plug it in, and then I plug it into the outlet. As soon as I plug it into the outlet, spark! I'm like, oh, yank that plug out as fast as
So
I
you
could.
did a kid with
And,
a G5 thing then, huh?
The thing is, we plugged it in at his place, and it was fine. So I don't know what the
It's
problem was with it.
rabbit-
It was obviously the metal was
rabbit
all
hair.
screwed up. No, it was not that bad of a basement, but I don't know what was going on with it. But I never jumped so fast and pulled out a plug so quick in my life. So that thing is a little scorched on the power supply end of it. But maybe the motherboard still works.
But
so who
see,
knows?
here's the thing though, guys, is Steve did not film that. So it's not on camera.
If I
it's
filmed it,
horrible.
if I filmed it, you would see A, me screaming like a little
We
girl.
want to see that.
B, me me flailing and knocking over the tray table behind me with my little box full of organized capacitors, which meant for the next hour after that, I was picking up the capacitors off the floor, reading the numbers on them, and putting them back in the little
We
bucket
want
inside of the plastic.
your audience wants to see that.
Yeah, well,
That's why you need an overhead camera in your basement that's always on.
you guys meet my Patreon goals, I'll buy an overhead camera.
Hey,
How
you got
about that?
one. You
see
had
my
one
balls.
for the mousetrap. Come on.
Yeah.
What about you, Jay?
Absolutely nothing. I'm gonna be slammed with work. I'm trying to put some more effort into writing instead of video, so I'm putting some more blog articles out. I still need to do a lot of work on the Apple serialnumberinfo.com website, and that's it. The year's going to be over before I know it. I still have those Xer G4s that I need to record.
Yeah. When are you going to do that? Because we want to see you blow some circuits.
This is not the cluster. This is just the
Oh,
G4
dang.
series. But yeah, I'll get to it. But when, I don't know.
Mike, and we know you
Yeah,
got.
speaking of which, I blew the
Yeah.
circuit.
We know Mike's got a new video coming up sometime, part 2.
Yeah, that's about the only thing I got going on right now.
And for me, I don't have much, but I do want to put out that November 22nd was our first Mac Yak that we ever did. So
Woo.
we will be 1 year old in a couple of months. So we're going to have to do something special, guys. Maybe, I don't know.
I
Will
think
you be
should
moved
give
by
away
that?
I think
your
Grudy should give away
2000 Mac Pro.
something. Since he's not here, we'll volunteer him to give away something.
Yeah.
Wait, Mike, not Mike, Greg, where are you going to be? Are you going to be at your new place by
Probably. That's,
then? You could go to a housewarming party.
there we
with you.
go. I go visit Steve.
Oh yeah, dude. We'll all meet up in DC.
Mine is me.
Oh, there's Rocky.
Oh, he's still here.
I thought you were
He
gone.
was
Yeah,
sleeping.
I was here. No. I was listening. I didn't have my mic or camera.
He was in the
on.
bathroom.
No, different reason. I ate some bad
Well,
food.
we
for
know
lunch,
Rocky won't be
so-
streaming games anytime soon, so at least for 7
Nope.
days. So
Not on Twitch, anyway.
but anyways, guys, it's going to be a year, so we're going to think of something special for you guys, especially the guys that stuck with us for this long. I mean, I know we've got 5 or 6 guys that actually show up every week for the show.
Dana.
So we appreciate you guys sticking it out with us for this long.
Yeah, and those bribes are costing us a pretty
I
penny.
know, and we're not monetized yet. We're just barely over 300 subs. We need to get up to 1,000 to be monetized, so we can actually use that money, so
Nick.
we can all meet and
James.
drink beer on you guys. So
Yeah, give it a few more
Yep.
months. Actually, where are we at now? How many subscribers do we have?
322, I think, was last I saw.
All right. By the time we hit our 1 year anniversary, we need to have 500.
Yes. In fact, I got
Make
a
it happen.
new guy in,
Go.
but he didn't show up tonight. But he bought my Performa that I had on sale for like over a year on the Facebook Marketplace. I thought I had taken it off, but apparently it was still there. But he was a collector.
Well, what's his name? Because there was someone in here earlier saying hi to you.
More importantly, what model Performa? Don't leave me hanging.
6360, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I showed you guys this one before.
Yeah, it wasn't like one of those ones that you write
Yeah.
home about, but it would have been cool.
So I mean,
I'm still waiting on either Steve or Rocky to dig up an edge connector for a SCSI hard drive so I can get my LC575 finished.
I
You know,
told you
both
when I
are-
find it, I'll give it to you. I have one new in the box somewhere.
Yeah. I'm going to be
Somewhere.
freaking grayer and older than I am now before you find that mess you've got.
Damn right.
I might as well just come over and look for my damn self.
You're welcome to
wait,
do that anytime,
And Mike
my
knows
friend.
where he lives.
Exactly. Come at me.
Hold on. What do you mean by edge connector? I got
I'll send you a
SCSI
picture
2SD.
later, bud.
Okay.
I'll send you a
right.
picture. It's a weird
We're
thing.
All right, guys. So this is
Yeah, it is dumbest thing.
this is the end of our stream tonight. We actually made it 2 hours, guys. I'm surprised because I didn't think we were going to make it.
I thought there's no way we're gonna make it past 45 minutes. No way.
Yeah.
All right, Mon. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Mon is going to do his homework.
All right, guys. So make sure you like and subscribe both YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We do have a Twitter. We need to put that on there now too. So maybe the next, yeah.
I got.
So Jay, the next time, if you could put the Twitter address on there, maybe put that on there.
I'll paste it into the
Yeah.
thing now. There you go.
Because I don't know if Steve put out our live this time or not. Did you?
I
Did you? Okay, cool.
I did.
I haven't checked Twitter yet.
How dare you think I'm slack?
We do have a Discord server. The Discord server is up on the screen right now. If you want to, come out and join us on Discord. We have voice channels. We have a lot of text channels, stuff like that. It's all split up into different subjects. So come out and check us out.
Yeah, and give our Twitter some more love. We only got 5 followers, and I know one of them is me.
One's
so.
me.
Oh, by the way, something unrelated. We play a lot more Unreal Tournament these days. So games
For whatever
can
reason.
pop up at random, typically around 10 p.m. About this time
Yeah.
of night is usually when we play. So if you want to be up to speed on the latest Unreal Tournament games, join Discord, join the PowerPC Gaming Lounge on Facebook, because that's where we'll announce it.
Yep. All right, and check out the description and info for links. Usually I try to put some timestamps in there. I haven't been doing that lately, but I'll try to get there. Yeah, try to get some timestamps in there.
Links minus my Twitch.
Well, we could keep it in there. I mean, you just won't be able to see anything for
Yeah.
a while. It probably says banned.
Except for, a few days.
Spread the word and tell your friends. Like Jay just said, we want to get up to at least 500 before our first year. So that's our goal. So spread the word. Tell people that that this channel's out there, and promote us a little bit. Help us out. Just
And there's no shame in bribing people.
Exactly.
Just slip them a few bucks and say, hey, subscribe to this channel.
Yep.
Rudy will reimburse you for every dollar.
Exactly. So, guys, we're
Yep.
going to say adios, and we will see you next week. So,
See you
catch
next
you
week.
later.
Yeah.